once again. I'm your regular people who did that, got a bottle of water. Even as my guest is shaking his head, it's maybe not true, but it is. Welcome. It's a news and current affairs program designed with you at the center of it, just to have you air your views when issues of national, state, local importance are discussed, even international news. We are not sector bound, so we discuss everything that made news in the last 24 hours. Alright, so welcome once again. At the time when I'll allow you in, I will let you know. I'll open up the phone lines to let you in on the conversation. Alright, so on today's Let's Talk, quick one. Rivers crisis. Tinubu PDP governors stop the escalation of crisis in River State. Rivers crisis. Tinubu PDP governors stop Fuba's removal to de-escalate, to de-escalate the crisis. And then, if you remember, and you've been following this program ardently, you remember that we have followed the planned strike of labor bumper to bumper. Drivers will know, mechanics will say bumper to fender, because bumper to bumper will mean turning the cars on its heads. So we follow this matter bumper to fender. And now, federal government, Labour have shifted their talks to Tuesday. Remember, Labour gave yesterday as the ultimate 30 days ultimatum with the lapse yesterday. Nigerians were waiting to hear the words. It was going to be the ground off all planned nationwide strike. All systems were supposed to be down. But hey, sorry to disappoint you. If you are, we've been waiting for that. Labour are saying we have shifted that. Now, in the studios with me to talk and discuss all of this is Bishop Bob Manuel Ibioko. No, hey, don't be misled, do you? No, Bishop, you're welcome.
Thank you. I also thank you, Nigerians. Good morning, Rivers people.
You are a Rivers man.
Well, of course.
So quickly, let's delve into what's going on in River State. The President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and the People's Democratic Party on Tuesday intervened to stop the impeachment moves. The President conferred with the embattled governor and his predecessor, the Minister of Federal Capital Territory, Wike, at the presidential villa in Abuja. The Bauchi State Governor, Bala Mohammed, disclosed this shortly after the Nigerian Police Council met for the first time under the President, Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration. Both Wike and Fuba had attended the meeting, which was held at the State House. Alright, so, however, photographs and videos capturing the moments were muffled by security operatives who threatened any media house that published them with eviction from the presidential villa. Some cameramen confided in some newsmen that while others were asked not to take photographs, videos of the two men, those who were done before and directed, were asked not to be published. And this happened at the police arrested about 120 youths in Port Harcourt for protesting the move to impeach the governor, but that's another story. But the president intervened. But PDP governors also weighed in, and from what we hear, that matter might be a thing of the past now. I want your reaction to this.
Well, Rivers Nigerians, thank you. That's why we say our democracy is still a work in progress. I want to say it's rather unfortunate that Rivers State is in the
eye of the storm.
It's not eye of the storm, it's a pedestrianly beset to be his political godfather.
Why pedestrian? How?
Why I say pedestrian is that we don't also know what the sitting governor has done for him before that decision was taken. You understand?
That's not in the public.
No, it's in the public.
What is in the public? What is in the public was the fact that Nigerians feel that he was handpicked.
No,
I mean, handpicked,
yes.
and made a governor like a stooge.
You know, if we say so, it means the people are out of it. People voted for him. So even if the governor picked him,
if you go by how the primaries were conducted, remember that other candidates were told to stand down.
No, all we are saying is that if you muzzle even the system in favor of somebody, there are still people who midwifed it. It must be a compromise. It cannot be you alone. So what we always say, politics is a system, it's a process. Internal democracy and the external elections and all that. It's not just you can be there well. So at times it is also wrong to say one man picks, that you just pick the person did not go through any process, he emerged. Even if it's an appointment, it's a different thing. It was an elected position. So you were comfortable with that person and you threw your weight behind that person, and everybody who you could influence, perhaps rightly or wrong, they work for that person. But it will be wrong because the person one must be qualified, two must have done something to have attracted your trust. That's what I'm trying to say. So yeah, but that's why I say we can end to say pedestrianly.
But do you know that it might not just be of trust. If I say that Bishop Manuel Ibioko is very loyal to me, I have some things not to doubt your loyalty because I know some things.
Okay.
I've seen your character. You might not even be qualified for me to confer you with something very dear to me just because you can't safeguard it. You know, that's a logic that's plausible.
No, what I'm trying to say is that...
No, but do you know that that's a logic that's plausible?
Of course. Of course, in life, there is nothing that is perfect except God himself. But what we're saying is that there must be fundamental parameters that both the person selling you and you accepting must have attained before you are even taught in the first place. So I think the sitting governor met those criteria of earning the trust of his former. So what I think is unfortunate, people have said there are conditions that were given to this sitting governor and perhaps they accepted before all the other. That is not to public knowledge. It could be between the political gladiators. But what I think is bad is this aspect of twisted democracy. I'm twisted. That's what I mean. That's the godfatherism.
Okay.
For instance, we didn't hear anything publicly. Maybe there was a quarrel or there was a misdemeanor of the sitting governor, and it's publicly. And the next thing you heard was that an impeachment process was already going on. And we should have sailed through, and the governor, House of Assembly got burnt all of a sudden. And again, there were counter accusations between the legislators. And as it is today now, they were removing themselves and all that. We have like two leadership. We don't know even the one that is really authentic because of all those processes. So the Mr. President coming in or to advise them is the political father of the nation as it is today. And the cross party is the president of Nigeria. And Rivers State is a sensitive state. He has his minister there who he confides in, and the governor to Rivers, knowing that he is a protege of the former, he thinks that it will even be in his own political interest to reconcile them. But I know that if it's not going to be in his political interest, he would not have gone in swiftly. And maybe as a politician, he has also calculated the implication, because he's a I mean the president himself.
Okay, because I'm into that. The president had to intervene, and from words around, this is supposed to be a family matter within the PDP. The president intervening, is it appropriate?
No, it's not a PDP matter for it. I don't think that Rivers State is really doing they are in the hardcore of the PDP.
Well, however you look at it, the governor came under the platform of the PDP,
No,
the minister is still a PDP, bona fide PDP member.
Yes, the minister is a bona fide PDP member as it is today, but his activities have not been in tandem with the leadership of the PDP.
Because he took the ministerial position?
Not only took,
okay.
It's all the ones that the leadership or the National Working Committee has taken. He has gone the contrary way. From the composition of the National Assembly to all that, he went the other way, went to the other team. So what we're saying is, the kind of leadership he has shown supports the sitting president, not his party. And so when you talk of loyalty starts from the party. The party is supreme. Even if, just like Supreme Court is supreme, if I'm taking the judgment, it is. So if you constantly go contrary, I think that is my own fear of the president. If he goes a different way, the governor will have political freedom. Either come to begin to
assert himself
or begin to walk rightly according to his mindset with the structure originally the platform that brought him. So the disagreement between the past governor and PDP and all that is to the benefit of the sitting president. Even they gave him electoral values and all that. Rivers State is a core PDP state, but the presidency went to the APC for the first time. So the president knows that he has gotten a political inroad into Rivers State, and this could threaten that inroad may not have consolidated for 2027. This would they see far. And so he was interested. But that is not to say even outside that political calculation, he shouldn't have done what he did. Knowing that two people are fighting, this is a governor, this is a minister under you. We should not give people your government a good image. The minister is interfering in a state matter. So he came in as a father. But I think it is a work in progress because the crack that has already been occasioned as a result of this feud, the waters cannot just die there immediately, because the governor now needs liberation. He needs to assert himself. Liberation, of course.
It's only the oppressed.
Of course, this governor, from what we are hearing from public space, was oppressed. He was oppressed in the
sense. There's no evidence to.
No, we are hearing statements. What evidence do you want? Statements of insiders, statement of the government when he said anything can happen. He made public statements. Though they have not come out openly, even the assembly have not come out openly to talk about the offense
that he committed.
That's to tell you that there is something they hide. But the public and people around them know. The body languages know. This other, they have gone this state. His godfather must have given him, they must have agreed, let me say, on how the state will be administered. I don't want to go, because at my level I should not speculate. But what we are saying is that I'm quite sure he relies so much on the advice of the former, whether it was in the interest of the state or their personal interest. And I'm quite sure if maybe he wants to do a review, like some are saying he wanted to go into the Songhai farm, which was a program of Meiji,
yes.
But he felt that it will help the state reviving it. Some have said he thinks of dissolving the local government council to be the caretaker. For 1 year, they've not agreed. Some have said some policy matters and all that. The last commissioners he appointed, he did not send the list for the FCT minister to vet and maybe approve before they were sworn in. And a lot of 1 or 2 matters like that. People have said even some things that have to do with pecuniary interests, which we don't know because we're on public radio. But I think that all these things, there are things that should not have led, because it's too early in the day. And if you trusted the man, there should be an informal way of settling these political innuendos. But if they couldn't control themselves and it now broke down to a point where you say, oh, my people in the state will have you go and get the man removed. Again, it is Rivers people, whether covertly or anyhow, that at least voted for this man. You said that they voted. Except they are telling us that the election was rigged and you planted the man. But if you are saying Rivers people voted, I think it is still Rivers people. You report the assembly represents Rivers people. Did they consult their constituents to say this is the crime the governor committed, and maybe the elders and other people call him to order. So I think there were better ways. This extreme governor had to react to save the job, and because of doing that, he even said he was shot at by the police. He said a lot of things, and what if actually what he said was true and stray bullet?
He was shot.
Yeah, he was shot.
Directly wounded or died.
Imagine where that would go to. Now there is an ethnic thing, is a right person, they job people and all that around them, and they making it look like, you know, you don't want somebody from that place to be there. You have whipped up a lot of sentiments that were lying low. So for me, for the peace of the state and unity of the state, they knew how they came. But again, there could be the hand of God in this thing, because the Bible says the violent ticket is possession by force. It gets to a point where a man decides to say, I'm tired about
what's going
on around me. I am not happy even on the job. And at times these outbursts will also lead to some of the things we have seen. But we must commend Mr. President for initiating a reconciliatory process. But I think all the parties should share the sword. Let them face their primary assignment. Allow the governor, yes, he could consult where he wants to. He has already started to consult, and you are perhaps the most important in that team of consultation. But it doesn't end with you. The governor also has a mind of his own. Mind, he has been accountant general of the state. He has worked with you. He's also experienced. He has gone to school. So he could want to do some things that are outside your own
scope
or program or will, you know, or wish to do. In such cases, you also give him the leeway, provided it's in the overall interest of the state. And if that maturity is shown, it has always happened between political godfathers and godson. At the time, because of the overbearing nature of the godfathers and a lot of expectations that they have from their godson, they end up parting ways. I think by the sagacity of the former governor, he has said a lot of things that he will not even intervene in the government of his predecessor. He has made a lot of public statements that could be put against for some reason. And again, he has not come out to agree. That is actually the brain behind even the impeachment process. But again, he has not also denied it. So there are speculations all around. But we think the state should be allowed, because of development that we need. If there is no peace in the polity, of course they will be running to court, and what we see will be the backward trend of the state, which will not be in the interest
of the best interest of the state. It does bring to the table the issue of negative godfatherism. I said negative because godfatherism in itself is not bad.
Okay.
It engineers mentoring if it's in a positive light.
Exactly.
And we're seeing it occur again and again in the polity, in the Nigerian democracy. It hasn't been good. Yesterday opened my eye to a lot of things in politics. I saw people Rivers youths who eulogized the former governor. Hey, he's a giant killer. He is this. He's a political mathematician. He's this. And when this issue happened 2 days ago, they came out and called the governor unprintable names on social media. I mean, these were people who were behind him during the election, and and these people revealed a lot of things that we didn't know about the governor, the negatives we didn't know about the governor. And we talk about godfatherism
about the
ex-governor.
Okay.
And you talk about the effect of godfatherism. If this hadn't happened, they would have still lined up behind the former governor of the state, heaping praises, knowing that they knew some of these negative sides. I was shocked.
No, why were you shocked? Except you are not politically averse. If you are not politically averse, you should know that this will happen. But perhaps it rather happened very early.
I mean, when you eulogize someone, even when you know the person is
not eulogize, that's what we call sycophancy. In Nigeria, our system is political sacrifice. Mr. Watanabe said it recently in his niche presentation. He said that Nigerian politicians are all thieves. He said they are quite responsible, and the electorate, what do they fall for? We're hungry. On election day, they give you 2,000 naira. They bring out billions of naira to say, go and mobilize people. They want to come out for rally, they put a bus there, they give you 3,000. You are more, our ladies and everybody will tie the best of their wrapper. So, all the thing has been manipulation. Even the supporters themselves, because they are hungry, they pretend. If they leave the campaign ground and say this truth behind the public places, so yeah, that's what I said they are not be following. Because they have to survive, the loyalty is not even real. They pretend to be loyal. And again, the same people who come for APC, they go for PDP, they don't rally. They go for ADC. So for them, since they don't give us a job, it is a means of livelihood.
Which means that the negative godfatherism will continue.
No. The negative godfatherism will continue, but with time it will fizzle out. Why it is not fizzling out is because of the total executive powers of the president and the governors. Look at, they can remove party chairmen or even elected appointed officials anytime. Everybody wants to save a job, and the number one thing in politics about saving your job is your boss confiding in you that your loyalty is not in doubt. So even it's not how brilliant you are. There are 1,001 people who can take over your job around the same party and even outside. So anybody who is fortunate to have gotten an appointment, do you think under normal circumstances, even the minister of the FCT would have allowed himself to sit side by side with the governor to be judging matter who he thinks that is a nobody politically? But because the president is the person that say, sit here, let me look at this matter, the minister piped down. The minister, if he had the advantage when he was governor, he would have pursued this guy out of town. People couldn't fight him. We saw a lot of how he used power consummately, even to talk to his superiors and all that, with arrogance and sagacity. But right now, the president who appointed him, who can remove him as FCT minister, is saying, guys, sit down here. As a father, I want to look into this matter. That was why it's going this way. Would have made a lot of things. By now, there would have been a lot of division. People would have been making statements. But it will eat up the polity. And Rivers State will suffer for it. So, for me, that's what I'm telling you about the consummate executive powers that they control. They easy to control the parties. Look at now. INEC itself, did you see that publication? That Mahmoud son, the HSBC bank this thing, euros, over 90-something million euros, was given in the name for the person of rigging the last election. I have not seen anybody refute it. It's on net everywhere. I don't know if it's first or anything.
That was not reported by any mainstream
media. It's not media. I'm telling you that it's the instrument and the source, everything is being displayed on social media.
We don't take social media news.
No, not social media. I said there have not been there are many ways of getting this thing. You can say fake news, but they have brought out instruments to show that this is the connection of what happened after the election that we could not fathom.
Okay.
And like that, and I said there have not been public counter of it, whether that
when it doesn't have substance, you don't need to count.
No, not so. This one has substance. This one is like getting your check.
You know when, for instance, if I come out.
No, what I'm trying to say is that I'm just trying to say something that even these things we are talking now, even about impeachment, are we there? Are people speculating? People who feel the insiders. There is nobody that has the former governor. We have not personally had access to him, or this present one. None of them have spoken to say this is the problem. But we are in media today. So it is from the information we have in public space, both the social media platform, the information, radio, some people, the newspaper and all that. These are information outlets that we use to. So if somebody says something serious about my integrity, I should not allow the power to take 24 hours, whether right or wrong. In fact, if it's a slanderous thing, I tell my lawyers to take an action.
Sure.
International. But when you allow it and it begins to go, you understand? They say silence is yes. So we are talking of things like that coming up, though it may not be relevant. So that is how desperate our politicians are. They want to hold on to power for nothing's sake and keep having relevance. That is all they want. But about dispensing democratic dividends and all that, they don't even care about the people who even work with them. I'm not talking about the masses. They just want to amass wealth, through whatever means, and also continue to be relevant. So for me, I'm not surprised about anybody pretending. And if you're around them, you cannot pretend. They don't go near them. No, don't go near them. But definitely, you can even become a victim. If you're a gentleman who knows that you want to keep your integrity together, and you want to look to the excesses of anybody who is a godfather politically, you cannot,
function properly.
You cannot have the trust of that person. You must play the fool. You must take all the rubbish.
Is it an accepted standard globally, or is it just
No, it is not. It's because our own system does not promote excellence. It promotes mediocrity. If you are somebody who is what you are saying, and you have it, you will even be afraid to give your appointments. This man is independent-minded. Today, now, do you see the quality of people who are in offices? Go and look at their background. Most of them have never worked before. Some of them, this politics is the beginning of their work and the end. Some are governors, some are ministers. Look at their CV. They never worked in even a private office for one day. And it's dangerous. You bring people into public office to be able to give out what they have. And if the man coming, he just comes to see that there is money in politics, and he begins to drive the exotic cars, he begins to see money, build out, he enjoys himself. He thinks that's how life is. But there are people who have counted 1, 2, 3, build up organizations. They know how to control funds. They know the discipline that should go, fiscal discipline. These are experiences you bring. That's why in America somebody can be a senator for even as much as you can, because you are talking about the experience and exposure. But yeah, it is the reverse that is the case. You can see it everywhere. The bad governance have brought us. Look at our country, it's a debtor nation. They don't even know how to get us out because they don't have the magic wand. And in some cases where they are, there is no sincerity, because it is self first and the nation last. Other areas is the nation first and self last. You can even bring what you have to make sure the country gets out. Under Obasanjo, we had a debt relief, debt forgiveness. Today now, look at our debt burden. How did we get back there? So I think that it's unfortunate, but I think that rather our politicians to turn, because it may not continue like this forever. If responsible people or real elections begin to take place, I think that the people will actually decide to look for more effective people and leadership.
And hoping that that will end godfatherism, negative godfatherism.
Yes, no, naturally, look at someone like a bike driver in Kaduna or somewhere, win an election to House of Reps. Who does he know? The people knew he was given community service. He bought the form, or people buy for him. He went, he was elected. Just like kind of this we are talking. There are really people that the people know. They know their character. They are comfortable with them. They are with them. But these people, because they are not in the class of already made politicians, they look down on them. But the last election showed a lot of difference.
Alright, time to open up the phone lines now. 907-084-9073. 0907-084-9073. 0702-500-2007. 0702-500-2007. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
They went to market.
Hello, good morning. Alright, hello, good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning, the real gift. You're welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Gift. God bless you.
Thank you. You too. At least the good thing is that people like you, our security chief that was yesterday, at least on because we are told in my community that there is nobody that can be in the house and then go to have the rope tied around their legs.
Exactly.
So, the good thing is that from what I've read, I will suffer for it. Because a lot of us, when they get where the grass on there, sorry, do any fast like grass and suffer. I mean, most of us are really, one of us did live on the grass. One of us did bottom line. I mean, coming from a minister. I mean, if you take his political base, automatically it becomes political. And that's what he's fighting for. At the same time, the governor, my governor, they want to fight for his own political base, looking at the circumstances that do me about becoming governor. At the end of the day, they should know that it doesn't matter how long you leave a piece of food in the water. It will never become a crocodile.
All right. Thank you very much, the real gift, for your contribution this morning. But please, when you do call in, stay away from your radio set so we do not have a holdback. Hello, good morning. Good morning, Chris. You're welcome.
Let me take you from the question. You know, most of us that if I want to play like a politician, I will talk my Bible. We know me now, you know, the way I talk around. If I see you look at it, I'll tell you that if you look at it, which Nigerian politics is not like that. So give me a Christian, a minister of God. I can't play Nigerian politics. If I want to play it, I'll drop my Bible. So, you see most of the people at times will tell you anything that the former governor asked me to do, I will do it. And they are telling you the truth. For me to say that I don't see the same people, even this morning, I told that the former governor, that they don't like what he's doing, the thing that he's doing. The same person that is telling you, if you ask him to kill, that will do it. Then tell me the type of personality, tell me the type, if you put such person in the office, it happened that you appoint that person to where I represent you. Tell me what that person, when you want to come out from that kind of people do, this is not how to run a nation, this is not how to run a state. Even up to now, started from the first day, I told you people that not to go and see with the problem, is to share it. Is to share it. Nobody will say that they don't know. Now, is it development that you want to remove it?
All right. All right. Thank you very much, Chris, for your contribution. Hello, good morning. Please let's obey the 1 minute mark. Christian, go on.
Good morning to you.
Good morning to
The governor was behind what happened to the it was like speculation. And he said it was not in the media and we know. But with what had happened, he was the man behind the thing. So I said that I think in life, I am one person that very grateful to God and there is time for everything. Politics for me shouldn't be a profession. For the past 4 years, you have had sway. Politics has led to education. They don't time that they are present in the lockdown. Politics is politics in a big time. The approach is a lawyer. The approach of politics is that one thing in his life. And besides that, we are talking about bringing someone. Are we really running democracy? That will say we want somebody. Even at that, was it not former president was an agency to become a governor? The woman has to stay in the government. If you have agency man, which were also know that they give them that agency in some way, but you want their account general. Why can't you live in some way? Are you saying that it's only you that have worry to how that is not prevent him? I think people should be grateful to God in some way.
Thank you.
I got to say what this guy, why is he running to be able to for them to settle?
All right. Thank you very much for your contribution, Christian. Hello, good morning.
Yeah,
Good morning. Good morning, Captain. Welcome.
Yes, I always enjoy Bishop when he comes on board.
thank you.
He makes his statement so clear. If I have not instruction, I will have visited him. See, we need
You can talk to me privately.
We need sincerity of purpose in this country if we must strive. And all these speculations, when we are saying the truth, we always call it as a measure or whatever. That's what is keeping us the way we are. You know, when this is started, it's like,
Hello? Caption, are you there? Alright. We'll take... Okay, so you can send a text message to 0702-500-2007, the 0702-500-2007, or you call 0907-084-9073, 0907-084-9073 are the two numbers to call this morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Mr. Speaker. Good morning. I just want to use, you know, this up to 1 minute, but let me just talk. This company Desire Barry Dakara calling from Saga.
Alright, Desire Barry Dakara, on Let's Talk, I'm Cosby Jones. I'm only the speaker on the parliament. Alright, go on.
Alright now, alright, thank you very much for the question. Please, I want to use this opportunity to tell people. Please, I think we get close to the entrepreneur, get close to the different. I like to obtain solutions in economical growth. This is to them, we don't know what is happening. We're not supposed to do this. What does it know when it happens? They don't know if it's they know if the agreement between me and the entrepreneur. They don't do anything about it. You cannot just talk it as you see. You just have to move like that and have to reduce the account. You can't do this for the happen. That's the way they just happen. Just to make it just happen. You know people to talk about it so that I decided not to call. I go out, I go on social media. Even my media was trying to say, my friend, shut don't talk because most people they talk. Let's talk it happen like it happen like it. You know the reason why it happen. Something happens for me. Something happens for me. So you I don't like
you would want people to keep quiet and not react to issues happening around them. So stay far away from your radio set. I'm Cosby Jones. My name is hold on. Did you hear me? My name is Cosby Jones. Cosby. Alright, God will bless him. Oh, did you hear what I said? Did you? Hold on.
The law of karma, the spirit of sleeping, you will know that what is laid out is divine, is God's blessing. Because, you know.
Tina.
So if you are talking about total loyalty, it starts from the end. Supreme Court is the final.
Alright.
The total loyalty is not closer to the presidential level. And what is your capacity? This one is jumping this one. So for this one, move around, and people stop loyal to this, the federal level. It's fighting the federal level. It's fighting good luck, no matter why, who brought it. And today,
we don't know about the good luck Jonathan wife. Okay. No, you don't come on radio to call names. Alright, we wouldn't allow that to happen. And again, Tina, on Let's Talk, I'm just Cosby Jones, not the speaker. Alright, so let's not confuse them. On Let's Talk, I'm called Cosby Jones. You can call me Radio Chief, yes. But on the Parliament is when I'm called the speaker. Alright, we'll continue to educate us. Hello, good morning. This is going to be the last call for now. I think it was.
Okay, I think what I was trying to say is that the former government made statement to just accepted his own part. And I believe that this kind of disagreement came during the Ambode.
Right.
When Ambode was left out of the program and they came to Muhammad Ibrahim and the sitting president today refused to adhere to that instruction and he did whatever he wants. I don't know why he quickly intervened in this aspect, maybe based on how the nature of the squabble. But I tell you that status quo will never remain here as per se the way they were before, because now they now have gotten a sort deficit in their list. I think this thing that took place on Monday or Sunday Monday is not a good thing to liberate people, because all those things that they're doing in secret came to limelight. And everybody now have noted what actually transpired, whether he was elected or not. The issue is here now. The man was allowed to have his own independent mind towards bringing development. Also, development is what is important here.
Thank you very much.
We cannot develop at least all these catastrophes that were come to bring. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much for your contribution right here. All right, time to look at some other matters as we wind down and conclude this conversation. The scheduled meeting between the organized labor, the federal government today, that was yesterday, the 30 days ultimatum to meet the demands of the farmer is contained in a signed memorandum understanding, and it has been postponed. A top official of the Nigerian Labour Congress who spoke with newsmen said the meeting is now to be held next Tuesday, that's next week. Then he said that the meeting was postponed at the instance of the federal government. They shifted it because they did not remember that the supposed date was to be their Federal Executive Council meeting. I mean, can we still take Labour seriously?
Well, Labour, for the Labour we have now, well, I also can't take them seriously, but I think that they are not focused. You don't come, you don't
give an ultimatum for 30 days, and on that day...
No, besides that, I saw the...
handwriting on the wall.
No, the NLC chairman, president, he was talking so seriously on Channels TV about their action. They are not going to wait for anything. But I think everybody is beginning to learn.
Learn what exactly?
Learn that there is so much betrayal in everything that is corporate because of the kind of people that are leading us. They break the ranks of the labor and they speak in discordant tones. And at times I will not blame the leadership, the president of the labor, even the TUC or the NLC, because while maybe you want to assert yourself, their lieutenants are telling you, let's give them
a chance.
So most of the time they are not united to implement what is their decision. They try to review. And Nigerians too are so apprehensive. They are so unserious that whenever this thing happens, they put sentiments into it. Some people say the government is just coming. Why don't you give them some time? You know, they talk in such a way as if you are not nationalistic. Traditional rulers or that who talk for the government. So I don't know. Maybe they are lovers of the government or they are fans. But when we talk in other climes, you look at the issues. Like we're talking about what has happened in Rivers State anywhere. We're not looking at the personalities involved. We're looking at the interest of the state. What ordinarily is a standard thing that needs to be done. If you have gone into an agreement with people, before the ultimatum, you should show what you have been able to do. You don't need to even be at that meeting because it's Federal Executive Council meeting. The Minister of Labour can be excused. So one or two people, what if they're outside the country, who the Federal Executive Council owns, even if the president is not in the country, the vice president should superintend over Federal Executive Council. So if that meeting is important and they have something to offer Labour, or the promises they have agreed or they have made, they cannot go and hold that meeting. These are strategic timelines. That's why I keep saying that. You know, when I talk about a strategic management process, where you talk of implementing a policy, you implant it, then you implement, then you control. There is no control system over most of these policies. If not, as they finish meeting, some committee or subcommittees will be working on these things. The president should be too busy. He's looking at the whole country. They take this thing back to you through the Minister of Labour, and they have a Minister of State in Labour, 2 hours there, and with other, people supporting them. Why can't they always be through Labour? This has been happening since this regime started. At times they don't come for meetings. At times, So for me, it shows marked signs of very seriousness in terms of governance. So it's either Labour perpetually keep quiet and allow the government to override them and do whatever they can do, or they sit down once and for all and reach a realistic agreement and wait for timelines of implementation. The refinery will not be fixed. Where are the money?
You think so?
What are you talking? What is happening?
The money is for the refinery long.
You see now right now, National Assembly, the Senate are setting up an investigative panel to look into over 11 point something billion dollars that they have used for turnaround maintenance and nothing worked. That's what I mean. Not the present day, the thing is being worked on. We are talking the past and up till now. It's being worked on and there are no results. So that is the 1 trillion you are talking. Do you know how many refineries we have used that to build new refineries? Even if you don't want to maintain the former. So people keep recycling and committing crime and going away with it and having fat this thing. So the truth of the matter is that if we don't take governance seriously, we are not going to make any strategic, improvement on our
labor or any other.
I mean, nationalistically, tell me one thing that we have done. So people are saying that subsidy is being paid, and they call it subsidy payment support. Now, because of the dollar price, what you benchmark to be bringing in crude has suddenly gone up. The independent market don't have money to even buy the product, to import. Anything that is imported, you have to go to CBN at this particular current rate. The difference has to be paid by, if I would have buy fuel over 1,000 by now. So you see, because you are not in control, you don't have a strategic, plan towards the whole thing holistically. Things happen and you just react to it. And it is causing imbalance. Salaries that borrow money to pay. Everything you do pay. When we were here in this studio last time, 26 point something billion or $1 trillion will be taken between now and 2026. And we use 29 point something trillion to service. So there is nothing for investment. And in a country like that, the first 4 years of the president will go that way. And maybe he will seek for a second term, or the country will continue to be in doldrums. And since this, there was oil glut from the PDP days till now, tell me what we are doing with the oil money. Other people are divesting, they are moving away, they are sending products to the world. Look at other African countries, they've left us. Rwanda, people, they had a problem. They sat down and said, we're going to solve this problem. And it was not about politics, it's about their nation. And they go to those countries, they are doing Angola, Kenya. They decide that the human problem, they faced it to say these things must stop and let our nation move forward. Nigeria must sit down and take a deliberate, sincere apology. Our children are there, some of us are on the other side of age. And what of the young children coming, the out of school children and all that? What are we going to do with those people? So we have to think
it's a fundamental question that needs to be answered. Thank you very much.
Yes. So
Bishop.
Labor, the product of the system, I think they shot themselves on the foot, and because they are not united. If we have a united labor, we won't be having all these, lackluster.
Labor have become political.
I'm not even going to say that there have been even people who say they have been compromised. I'm not going to use that word. I'm telling you, even in the church we run today, people form cartels, especially people who have money. They come into even the system, they want to control the pastor. They want to tell you what to preach. In some areas where the pastor does not own the church, if they don't want to see you, they go and influence your transfer and they just get you away. Simply because you are standing. The same attitude we have as Nigerians, we take it everywhere we go. We want to be in charge. Even when what we are saying is not within the books of that organization, we want to create it and make reference to it. We are very catastrophic in nature.
We shouldn't be. We're not.
No, I'm telling you, let's face the truth. I don't know whether even in offices today, people don't go and look at their handbook for human resources. It's about in the good books of the top man. You have cartels and you have cleavages and all that. And that is very unholy ones. So what we are trying to say is that for once, let's know that there is a God that rules in the affairs of men.
Alright.
Let's be human and be realistic.
Human and realistic. Thank you very much, Bishop Bobane Lebioku, for your time here on Let's Talk.
Thank you.
It's a Wednesday morning, 1st of November. Happy New Month to everyone who listened in, if that means anything to you. My name is Cosby Jones, and this is 99.5 Wish FM. Up next is the economy with Ife the Dark Pearl.